Here we're going to look at solving another equation. This one's linear. I can tell there's no squares in it. I'd say the biggest mistake I noticed happen is, see this last thing says minus? And so they don't explicitly have to put this in parentheses. The minus is outside of the whole fraction, but it's on this entire thing. So one thing to kind of try to alleviate these mistakes, like to do right from the beginning, is say, okay, if it's minus this whole thing, that's the same as distributing the negative to both of them, so I can write it as plus -7, -5y. Just remind myself that the negative isn't just on this, it's on the whole top of the fraction before I even start. That's usually where the most mistakes happen. Okay, so now we can look at, well, I don't want to deal with all these fractions. What can I do to get rid of them? So just like in the other shorter, simpler ones, we can multiply by the LCD, which for 6 and 7 is 42. And if I'm doing it to both sides of the equation, think I have to multiply 42 by everything, right? This whole thing, and don't forget this also. So every term gets multiplied by 42. And right on the fractions, why is it on the top? Because it's a whole number, like 42 over 1. So then let's see what cancels. So 42 divided by 7 is 6, and 42 divided by 6 is 7. And so I'm left with 6 times 2y minus 2, and notice how it's times the whole thing, so it's got a parentheses. 42 times 2 is 84, and then this is 7 times -7y minus 5, so we don't have to remember the negative being out here. We already put it inside of our parentheses. So now I can distribute 12y minus 12 equals 84, and 7 times -7, so -49y, and then 7 times -5, -35. And then get some of my like terms together. So 84 minus 35 over here gives me 49. And 12y minus 12. And now I can start doing steps to both sides of the equation. I'll maybe, I don't know, add 49y, like when I can keep my variable terms positive. So 49 plus 12 is 61y. And maybe I could add 12 to both sides. 49 plus 12 is 61 also. And so divide both sides by 61. And I get y equals 1. Then a pretty good idea to go back to my original equation and put 1 in there to make sure that that works.